All right, moving on. While there is a corrective kind of a move in the market right now, let's talk about one big voice, and that is Marcellus Investment Manager Saurabh Mukherjee. He has made a fresh new investment in his small champ portfolio, the small cap, essentially the scheme, and the name of the stock is Poshak. Let's hear it out from the man himself, and then we'll analyze this new holding of Saurabh Mukherjee.
Built a position in a company called Poshak, which is the market leader in Phosgene. So Phosgene is an essential industrial chemical. It's as essential as, say, chlorine. Because it's a controlled substance, the government doesn't give out licenses to build Phosgene factories very often. But the demand for the product is vast, supply is scarce. Poshak is the market leader, and hence in our small cap fund, we have built a position in Poshak.
All right, let's also get in Sharad Dubey to talk more about Poshak. What is this company about? What does it do? And what kind of numbers are being reflected in performance so far? Sharad?
Well, yes, Poshak is in focus. The stock is the leading supplier of Phosgene derivatives, and the use cases go across agrochemicals, pharmaceuticals, and even personal care. Now, if we see the company's revenue and PAT, they have grown almost 17% CAGR and 26% CAGR respectively over the last 10 years. Apart from this, the average ROEC numbers have also clocked over 24% over the last decade itself. The company has actually been added by Marcellus in the Little Champs portfolio. And if we see the company's positives, as stated, is the firstly being the barriers of entry coming in because of the licensing in this industry. Apart from this, there is a professional run management team, and a continued expenditure is being seen in the research and development activities. Now, the company itself has a market cap of almost 2,300 crore rupees, and promoters have 67% stake. And if we see the 1 year returns has been almost 6%, but if we see humongous returns have come in 3 year basis, coming in at almost 330%, and in a 5 year basis, the stock has risen by more than 1,500%.
From Poshak, let's move on from chemicals to automobile. And there has been an exclusive news break confirmed by my colleague Samir, who's joining us now, regarding automobile sector and investments coming in. Samir, fill us in.
Oh, yes, definitely. As we reported first, now it is confirmed that government has received an overwhelming response for the PLI scheme for automobile as well as for auto component. Earlier, the government, which was actually expecting that the proposed investment would be somewhere close to rupees 42,500 crore. But now the official figure is 74,850 crore, which is quite a overwhelming response. The government has received a proposed investment of close to 75,000 crore, and around 75 players they have committed for this proposed investment. So the big names for the auto PLI scheme include the players like Hero MotoCorp, Lucas TVS, Maruti Suzuki, Toyota, Bosch. We have seen Minda Industries also coming forward. So whosoever is there in this field, in the auto sector field, as a component or as an OEM player, they have committed for this auto PLI scheme. Now, going into the details of this PLI, this is a 5-year incentive-based scheme. The incentives will be provided to the successful applicants from the financial year 2024. And we have seen that out of this close to 74,500 crore, the component champion incentive scheme, the government has received somewhere close to rupees 30,000 crore. So government is quite confident that this scheme and the sort of response that government has received will definitely pave way for bringing the auto sector, shifting the gear towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat mission that government is currently focusing on. And one more important aspect is that the component, the successful applicants in the component segment will be getting an incentive in the range of 8 to 13%, whereas the OEM will be getting the incentive in the range of 13 to 18%. So this is definitely a big response that government has received for the auto PLI scheme.
Samir, let's also talk about banking space, and one stock which was buzzing very sharply at one point in time, almost 9% in trade, was Bandhan Bank. Nomura CLA, both notes are positive, and Harsh is analyzing the commentary in these notes on Bandhan Bank. Harsh?
Well, Bandhan Bank has faced an upward hill task over the last 3 to 4 years, but now CLSA and Nomura both are saying that they are beyond that curve, beyond that hump, and the cycle is turning for the bank. Both believe that asset quality is improving, GNPAs are stable, and we did see a good collection efficiency of 96% in Q3. CLSA also believes that credit costs will normalize in FY23 for the bank, and Nomura believes that the stress book has peaked. Nomura also believes that there are going to be no major stress provisions which are going to come in, and believes that the MFI in terms of growth have seen a cyclical recovery or are going to see a cyclical recovery going forward. On ground, CLSA's channel checks reveal that MFI collections are normalizing, and CLSA believes that going forward the restructured book is going to hold the key to the performance for the bank. In terms of profitability, both houses believe that profitability is going to improve. CLSA believes that ROEs could start getting closer to that 20% mark, and Nomura believes that EPS and PPOP, pre-provisioning operating profit, will surprise positively. There's already some tailwind on government bailouts, especially in Assam, and the new MFI guidelines should also help given the increase in income limits as well as interest cap which is removed. CLSA has upgraded to a buy with a target price of 340 rupees a share. They don't expect multiples to go back to past levels, and Nomura is looking at a favorable risk reward with a target price of 375 and a 40+% upside.
All right, with that is a wrap on this edition of the newsroom, but Vinny and Cheryl will take the action forward on the other side. Girls, what's on the show today?
Well, a lot of stocks that are buzzing in trade, but Ajay, as you can see the screen, it's a sea of red all of a sudden in the last half of trading session. So we'll be talking about the newsmakers today, what's exactly happening in Bandhan Bank, and a lot more. So stay tuned for the second leg of the newsroom that we'll be back after the break.